to the end zone. Intercepted!
They quieted a crowd. Their reward, the reigning champion.
On Judgment Day, I will give it all away. I'll be pushing on.
The Buckeyes, the scarlet heart of the heartland, driven as much by pride as power. The Hurricanes, equal parts swagger and steel, rising to reclaim the past.
Every single play, for each other, for his team, for the youth.
Prepare for a clash of primal forces. No ground given, no strength saved.
Make sure they understand they're playing somebody different tonight.
The U and the Ohio State University.
Quarterfinal number 1 on New Year's Eve, with 3 more tomorrow on New Year's Day. Miami started the season 5-0, ranked as high as number 2, then lost 2 of 3, but riding a 5-game win streak entering tonight. Ohio State started 12-0, then lost to Indiana in the Big Ten title game. Playing in the Cotton Bowl the 3rd straight year and trying to repeat as champs for the first time in school history. Let's take a look at our Ram Truck Spotlight.
Ohio State and Notre Dame in the college football playoff national championship. Easy, and Ohio State cannot be stopped so far. Leonard launching, touchdown Notre Dame, and the Irish back within 8. Ohio State's been so effective in converting 3rd downs tonight, desperately needing one here. Howard delivers downfield, he's got it! Jeremiah Smith, the longest, toughest postseason climb.
Just show us an example. When things get hard in life, you just keep swinging as hard as you can. You fight. That's our culture.
It's Ohio State together at the mountaintop.
And the reigning champs ready to take the field for the first time in the college football playoff. The captains heading to midfield for the coin toss. Ohio State, the 2 seed. Miami, the 10 seed. We have an SEC crew today officiating this game between the Buckeyes and Canes, and our referee is Daniel Gautreau.
All right, guys, congratulations on earning a spot in the college football playoff quarterfinal at the 90th Cotton Bowl Classic. I'm your referee, Daniel Gautreau. This is your umpire, Walt Hill. Presenting today's coin is Kelvin Walker, chairman of the Cotton Bowl Classic Committee, and Doug Grasseson from Goodyear. Thank you. Today's coin has the logo of both teams on it. I'll flip it, and whatever logo lands face up will win the toss. Ohio State, you have won the toss, and you would like to defer. Which way would you like to kick? Like turn your backs that way? Turn your backs this way? Ohio State has won the toss and elected to defer their option to the second half. They will kick from the west end zone. Good luck, gentlemen.
Let's hear now from the head coaches. First, Taylor McGregor and Ryan Day.
Thank you, Dave. Coach Day, you took back over the play calling duties for this game, something you haven't done since 2023. How will you get into a rhythm early?
We've been working hard the last couple of weeks, and I feel like we got a pretty good script early in this half. So the first thing we want to do is win the first drive, win the first quarter, win the first half, go into halftime, figure out what we got. But it's been a while since we played a game, so we got to win this first drive right here and get a fast start.
Yeah, thank you, Coach. As he mentioned, Ohio State has not played in a game in 25 days. They were very intentional about the way they spent their downtime. They sought the advice of a sports scientist who told them exactly how to push each player day in and day out. They want to start fast because they understand that a year ago, teams with a long layoff were 0-4 in the quarterfinal round. Now let's go to Miami. Quick pass next, standing by with Mario Cristobal.
Coach, what is the mindset of your team right now in this moment?
Be fast, physical, violent, and relentless, whatever it takes.
Thank you, Coach. This is a Hurricane team. They are confident and they are battle-tested. They've won 5 straight. They won a playoff game at Texas A&M, and they've got a very veteran quarterback. Carson Beck, 23 years old, making his 41st start. He said he's comfortable on this stage and that he will manage this moment.
Played in SEC championship games, a backup on 2 national title teams at Georgia. Jaden Fielding, who missed a potential game-tying field goal the last time we saw him in a loss to Indiana in the Big Ten title game, will boot it deep. Keelan Marion standing in the end zone waiting for the opening kickoff. And the quarterfinal round is underway. A touchback. So Carson Beck in his first year at Miami after transferring from Georgia. 35-5 as a starting quarterback. Best among active players. 14-3 against ranked teams. 3rd best in the last 20 years. And you think about the pantheon of great Miami quarterbacks. Kelly, Kosar, Testaverde, Torretta, Dorsey, Ward. Carson Beck can join them tonight. Back to the air on first down. And tries to dump it off to Fletcher, and the pass is incomplete. Fletcher had a huge game in the win against Texas A&M. A career-high 172 rushing yards. He is the heartbeat of their team. He'll get a lot of touches tonight.
It's leadership, but it's also the production on the field. And he looked like he had a different juice, a different energy against A&M. He's healthy, and he's ready to go here tonight.
And Fletcher will get the carry on 2nd and 10, and he gets drilled by one of the top players in all of college football. Caleb Downs making his 6th start in the college football playoffs.
Well, this defense is special. The #1 defense in just about every statistical category. And there's no better player in the country defensively than Caleb Downs. They move him all over. He is a sure tackler. And you see there as he comes downhill, he will meet you in the hole.
It'll be tough for Miami to live in 3rd and long all night, facing a 3-man rush. Beck steps up, fires over the middle, incomplete. Couldn't connect with Keelan Marion. So a 3-and-out in less than a minute to start the game for the Canes.
It's a nice job by Carson Beck. He steps up in the pocket, and he has an open target in Keelan Marion, and they're going to need Marion to be productive here tonight. This pass is a little bit behind his intended target, but a pass that clearly Marion could have gone to the ground and made the catch.
Dylan Joyce will punt it deep to Brandon Innes. in his backpedaling around his 21, and he's tripped up at the 25-yard line. Julian Sayin started out at Alabama. He transferred when Nick Saban retired. Last year he sat behind Will Howard when Ohio State won the national championship. And this year, in his first year as a starter, not only is he leading the country in completion percentage, he's on pace to set the single-season record.
Well, he's got a quick release, and he's pinpoint accurate. But one of the most impressive things about him is his intelligence and the way he can work through progressions on the field.
Just 20 years of age from Carlsbad, California. He was under duress a lot in the loss to Indiana in the Big Ten title game. They'll run Bo Jackson on first down. And Jackson stacked up after a gain of a couple, led by O.J. Frederick. One of the cornerbacks for the Canes.
Bo Jackson was pivotal down the stretch of the season from Penn State on. He became the feature back, 6 100-yard games. He's got good vision and great burst with the football.
And some tempo here for Ohio State. Sands pass off target intended for Carnell Tate. And Taylor mentioned in her conversation with Ryan Day that Coach Day is taking over as the play caller. He called plays his first 5 years as the head coach of the Buckeyes. Last year turned the play calling duties over to his good friend Chip Kelly, who then left for the Raiders. And there's Brian Hartline, who had been calling the plays. Day wanted to take something off of Hartline's plate because he is the next head coach at South Florida.
Keep an eye on 3 and 4. Mesidor is going to be on this side, and Bain next to him. They're on the same side of the football. As you can see, Julian Sains identified him. He's checking the protection to the right.
And with the play clock winding down, Sains hits trouble and sacked back inside the 20-yard line. Mesidor and Bain both in the backfield.
Well, this is going to be an issue all night. Gabe Van Sickle is making his first start at right guard, and they're attacking it early. As you're going to see, Mesidor going to be right over here off the edge. He's going to get up the field. Both guys coming. Mesidor working as a 3 technique, gets up the field. The looper inside for Ruben Bain. This ferocious pass rush makes its presence felt on this opening possession.
They have now combined for 26 sacks, that tandem, on the season. Ohio State punting from inside its 20-yard line. Joe McGuire, the dangerous Malachi Toney, the true freshman, with the fair catch at the 39-yard line. Miami's offense, after a 3-and-out to start the game, back on the field when we return to Arlington and the quarterfinals between Ohio State and Miami.
They're going to use him in a multitude of ways. He'll be your traditional wide receiver, and he can go up and get the football. 89 catches, 0 drops. They're going to motion him, get him the football on the perimeter. Watch the speed. It's a foot race. In a foot race, he's going to win the game winner in College Station. And the old Malley Cat, high school quarterback, when he's back there, take snaps, he can deliver the football with accuracy down the field. You've got to identify where 10 is every snap if you're this Ohio State defense.
You see him in the slot there at the top of your screen on first down for Miami on its second offensive possession. It'll be Mark Fletcher off the left side, and he gets maybe 4 out to the 43, tripped up by Davison Igbinosun, first team all Big Ten corner. No drops for Malachi Toney. He's closing in on 1,000 receiving yards to be the first freshman in Miami history. Play action. Beck with time, checks it down. Fletcher wide open. First down and into Ohio State territory. Pushed out of bounds at the 41-yard line. A gain of 16.
Is this going to be zone coverage and a smart play here from Carson Beck? Caleb Downs gets too far inside. There's no flat player outside. An easy dump down and check off to Mark Fletcher.
Mario Cristobal says about Carson Beck, he's got old eyes. He's seen a lot. He has great confidence in Beck to win this game today for Miami. Made a smart play on the check down. He'll hand it off to Fletcher here on first down, and he is grabbed and wrestled to the ground by Caden McDonald, who's turned into a first-round pick. Arvell Reese, who always was a first-round pick, was also in on the stuff.
And this is going to be a huge thing to watch all night. Big 98, one of the best, if not the best, defensive tackle in college football. And he's going to be working on 52, James Brockmeyer, who's giving up size. And the force in the middle, he's really sets the point and sets the tone for this defensive line for Ohio State. Nice job on the movement, getting in the backfield, making the play.
Back to the air on second down and long. Again, dumping it off, and it's through the hands of Mark Fletcher.
This pass just comes out a little bit hot from Carson Beck. Off target behind Mark Fletcher. A lot of zone coverage here early from Ohio State. Carson Beck electing to just try to check it down. Third time he's tried to deliver a pass to his running back. These edges are good. Caden Curry, one of the best pass rushers in the Big Ten, and Arvell Reese might be the best edge in all of college football.
Back. Throws complete. C.J. Daniels inside the 30, down to the 26. Miami coaches said if they double Tony, Daniels has to step up.
Well, it's Arvell Reese here, and you're going to see the route come inside. And Carson Beck, he's got pressure coming on him, but he stands strong in the pocket and delivers an absolute strike to C.J. Daniels. They need C.J. Daniels to play big here this evening. He was banged up the latter half of the season. Still might not be 100%, but it's key that he is a big weapon here for this Miami offense.
Lorenzo Styles Jr., a key player in the secondary in the tent, shaken up on that last play. Miami operating now in the Ohio State 27. Wildcat, the Mally Cat as they call it. Malachi Tony running at that time inside the 25, down to the 23. Tony just 18 years old. And he has been a dynamic player, throwing, running, as Dusty showed you earlier, and obviously catching the football. Big reason why Miami in its first ever college football playoff.
Well, he can accelerate, stop so well, dangerous without the ball, and very dangerous with the football in his hands. They just want to get him its touches in as many ways as they can.
Beck throwing on 2nd and 6, now steps up and takes off and dives to the 20. He'll come up a couple of yards short of the line to gain.
A lot of zone coverage sitting back here for Ohio State. Carson Beck finds a crease, picking it up just to be third and manageable.
And Miami bringing in some beef here. An extra offensive lineman and another tight end. Not surprised for Mario Cristobal. Said it's going to be a rock fight. There's some rocket ships, he said, in this game, but it's all about what happens in the trenches. Fletcher tries to cut it back, and he is short. Ball came out as well. Ohio State has the football. A turnover by Miami in the red zone. Peyton Pierce comes up with a fumble recovery for the Buckeyes.
And it's going to be the corner, Davison Igbinosun, who's going to come in. Condensed formation, tight. Watch the corner come in from the side. Use that shoulder to get in there, get the football out. And a big takeaway for Ohio State.
But there was a pass interference on Ohio State. The Buckeyes end up winning. Look at our proven performance brought to you by Goodyear. What both programs have done since. This is the first college football playoff appearance for Miami. 4 10-win seasons. They still haven't won an ACC championship. But look at Ohio State. 20 10-win seasons. 2 national titles. 11 years ago in this stadium. And then last year under Ryan Day. Turnover by Mark Fletcher of Miami. Fumbling inside the 20. That's his first lost fumble on his 162nd carry of the season. Play action, Sayin. And it's Jeremiah Smith. And he's got a first down at the 29. The super sophomore who's from Miami. Smith now with 81 catches. First team All-America.
Teray was there in coverage initially, continued outside into the flat. Cannot leave 4 left alone or he will make you pay.
He told us, Dusty, he is 100%. He was hurt towards the end of the year. Wasn't even practicing the week of the Michigan game, the week leading into the Big Ten championship game. Said he couldn't play fast. Still had pretty good numbers. Bo Jackson trying to get the edge, and it's stopped by Bain back at the 27-yard line. Loss of 2 on the play.
Well, again, it's the power. And watch the effort he's going to give setting this edge. He's going to work really hard to continue to set this edge. He's going to get up the field, working on the left tackle. Zaraveld just continues to fight and get outside. Make an impactful tackle for loss on first down.
So Bain has already caused 2 negative plays here in the opening quarter. Jackson running to the right with room past the 30 and then knocked down at the 35. Thomas first. Poyser eventually made the hit and a gain of about 8. So 3rd and medium here, about 5.
That's Claire leading up with a tight end insert, getting on that second level linebacker, helping spring that run for Bo Jackson. Darnell Tate's so good in these 3rd down situations, getting to the sticks and getting open.
Donaldson leaving the backfield, Sand to throw, lobs it deep for Tate, incomplete. Good coverage by Frederic. And so Ohio State will punt for the 2nd time in as many possessions.
So O.J. Frederic's one of the only holdovers from last year. He was a freshman All-American in 2024. One of the best corners they have, running step for step. That pass just sails wide of Carnell Tate on the perimeter.
Saying 1 of 3 passing. Again, we highlighted best completion percentage in the country. Threw that one out of bounds, and now Ohio State punting on 4th and 4. Malachi Toney back at his 20. And the fair catch made at the 17. No score, 6.5 to go in the opening quarterfinal of this 2025-26 college. Miami starting this drive and at 17. Beck in trouble, steps up and is out to about the 25-yard line for 8 yards. And we talked about the defensive stars. Here are the coaches behind them. Matt Patricia in his first year, 3-time Super Bowl champ, Broyles Award finalist, coaching in college for the first time since he was a graduate assistant at Syracuse for Paul Pasqualoni in the early 2000s. Got Corey Heatherman, who's also a Broyles Award finalist, the defensive coordinator for Miami. 2nd and 2 for the Canes on their 25. Give to Fletcher, who fumbled it on the last possession. And this time he's able to break a tackle from Matthews and get a first down to the 31 for a gain of 6.
One thing about Mark Fletcher, he can get those funny yards. And as you're going to see, not a whole lot there inside. Just kind of lowers the shoulder, keeps the legs churning, runs through that attempted tackle of Jermaine Matthews. Good forward lean and downhill physicality and 2 hands on that football day.
Fletcher again tries to cut it back and bounces off another defender. Powerful run by Mark Fletcher Jr. for a gain of 13.
Well, this is impressive. Watch Sonny Styles. I just mentioned the size. 6'5". He's going to come downhill. Watch this collision in the hole. The contact balance for Mark Fletcher runs through Sonny Styles, shrugs him off, and then goes hunting for more. Impressive run with great physicality from Fletcher.
Drive started on the Miami 17, quickly out to its 44-yard line. Back throwing, hits Tony, who stumbles but is able to keep his balance, and then he fumbled the ball but covered it up. Remember, he had issues holding onto the ball in the first round against A&M. Little pushing and shoving afterwards, with no penalty markers down.
Boy, just a picture-perfect open field tackle by Caleb Downs. He's always under control and in the right position. Plays with bent knees. Watch him. He's going to come in here and deliver a great shot on Malachi Tony. As you referenced, Dave, that fumble wasn't costly, but it was dangerous against Texas A&M. Got to hold on to the football.
Fletcher, again a broken tackle. This time it was Downs who couldn't bring him to the ground. And he's into Ohio State territory, a couple of yards short of a first down. Mark Fletcher Jr. said he's having fun this year. Last year, he said after games he was in tears. That's because his father, who was very close to him and also the entire Miami program, Mark Sr., also known as Big Mark, passed away suddenly at age 53 last October. Mario Cristobal said he is our biggest leader. And showing leadership, bouncing back from that lost fumble, running hard on this drive. Beck will throw on 3rd and short, and it's Daniels again. A first down catch. And Beck is starting to get going now. And for the second time, Miami's inside the Ohio State 40.
Well, I love this from Shannon Dotson. Watch the switch release. Going to work inside. To see Bauman work outside. Nice job right there by C.J. Daniels. Zone coverage. The backer doesn't get turned around. It's Caden Curry actually dropping out the defensive end. Good job identifying that from Carson Beck and moving the sticks.
Look at Tony lined up right behind the left tackle. Now you see him motioning. Ohio State very aware of where he is. He catches the screen pass, puts his head down, and is stacked up and shoved back after a gain of 4 or 5. Very physical opening quarter here in Arlington.
And these two coaches wouldn't have it any other way, Dave. And we talked to both of them yesterday. Physicality, intensity, both words Mario Cristobal and Ryan Day used, and those were going to be the factors of what determines a winner here tonight.
So far, Miami able to move the ball on Ohio State. They've had it for 9.5 minutes to 3.5 for Ohio State. Inside 2 to play in the first, 2nd down and 6. Blitz coming, and Beck finds another receiver. It's JoJo Trader, close to a first down, and he's got it inside the 30-yard line.
It's a nice job by the true freshman, Gerard Pringle Jr. He's going to pick up the blitz and allow just enough time and security for Carson Beck to find JoJo Trader out in the flats. Really like the way Carson Beck is managing this game so far. He's actually run it a couple of times when it's been there and been accurate locating receivers down the field.
Fully healthy now. Had that elbow surgery after getting hurt in the SEC championship game a year ago. Couldn't let it rip really until midseason. Here's Pringle. Straight ahead for the change of pace back at about 5'9", 190. Straight ahead, the true freshman Pringle tripped up by Igbinosun after a good gain of about 8 yards.
Well, this is the physicality I want to show you right off the left side. Watch this double team work. 63. Getting in there, getting a good job, a good block. Markel Bell, they get good push, good movement off the left side. And Gerard Pringle with good patience, running behind his blocks and getting a nice pickup on first down.
Very balanced drive that's taken over 6 minutes off the clock. Pringle off left tackle, close to a first down at the 18-yard line. Brought down by Jalen McClain. It is a first down for Miami, and that's perhaps, and it will be, the final play of a very rugged, quick first half, or first quarter rather, here in Arlington. No score after 1. You are watching the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Moments ago, Quint and Mario Cristobal.
Coach, how would you describe the impact of Akeem Mesidor and Ruben Bain?
Every single game they show up, full throttle all the time. They affect the line of scrimmage. They affect the quarterback. We got to do a better job. We're starting to do some good things up front in the trenches. We just got to be more physical and more violent.
Why are you equipped to win the rock fight?
That's what we do.
Thank you, Coach.
Sure, brother.
56 rushing yards, 110 total yards for Miami in the first quarter, 9 yards for Ohio State, -1 on the ground. And for the second time, Miami's in the red zone. Turned it over down here on the first opportunity. Fletcher inside the 15 and down to the 12, dragged down by McClain.
Well, this is how Mario Cristobal has built this football team. They're a line of scrimmage team. He built it inside out. This offensive line, they are big, they are physical, what you get from his roots of being an offensive lineman at the U and a former offensive line coach. No different with the defensive line. And we asked him yesterday, that's why he thinks they have a chance to win here tonight and make a run here in this playoff. The way this team is built and constructed, and it's on full display here early.
Winner goes to the Verbo Fiesta Bowl against either Georgia or Ole Miss. Back on second down. Daniels his third catch. Trying to shake the defender, and he steps out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Going to be short of a first down. Igbinosun out there in coverage.
Well, Igbinosun's given a lot of cushion, playing off coverage, and that's an easy pitch and catch for Carson Beck to C.J. Daniels. C.J. Daniels is really impacting this game. 3 catches, but what he's doing off the ball, inserting him in the run game. He is a physical blocker on the perimeter, and even when they bring him inside to help out on that second level. Great start for 7 for Miami.
And look at that front for Miami. They've got 7 offensive linemen out there. Third down and a yard. And Beck hits Fletcher out of the backfield. Touchdown, Miami. What a drive by the Hurricanes, capped by a 9-yard touchdown pass from Carson Beck to Mark Fletcher Jr. An 8-minute drive, and you wonder if Ohio State was expecting run with all those big bodies out there on the line for the Canes. Carter Davis, who struggled. The wind a factor, and College Station was 1 of 4. On field goals, has no problem there with the extra point. And it's 7-0 Miami early in the second quarter.
From Shannon Dawson, let's count them together. The amount of offensive linemen that are in here. Now, watch the space that's over here. Nobody's present. So what are we going to do? Play action and run Mark Fletcher outside. Sonny Styles takes 1 step down hill to try to stop the run. No one's there for Mark Fletcher, and a big touchdowns for the Canes.
Till tonight, and showing right now just 9 yards of offense. They've given up 77 points all year coming in, and already 7 here in the first half. Time now for our Chick-fil-A moves on the field.
We told you from the onset about Bain and Mesidor. Already the impact felt. On the same side, this is a text game. Mesidor at 3 gets up the field. Bain, the inside looper, both get home. It's a sandwich at Julian Sayin. And how about Ruben Bain setting the edge? Good low pads, continues to fight outside, and he gets the tackle for loss on Bo Jackson. 3 and 4 on this defensive line can be game wreckers. And they've been wrecking this first quarter for the Buckeyes offense.
Miami 6th in the country and points allowed at 13. Ohio State gives up just 8 points per game, the best in college football in 15 years. Play action, Sayin setting up and fires it deep, going for Jeremiah Smith. And it's caught inside the 20. It's Smith down to the 15.
But when Julian Sayin's got this kind of time, it's going to be a problem. Great protection, allows this deep post to come open. There's no help outside for Jacoby Thomas. And that's the issue that Jeremiah Smith presents. The size, the speed, and if he gets a step, Julian Sayin's going to make you pay.
60-yard pass play. Ryan Day calling the plays again, dialing it up. And just like that, they're in the red zone. Another play action pass. Sayin in trouble and taken down again by Reuben Bain. They cannot block. Number 4 for Miami.
He's just such a force inside, Dave Pash. Reuben Bain right here. We're going to watch him go to work. And it's going to be an issue all night. Going to work inside. Now he's going to get on a guard. Fakes inside and then works back outside. Those good hands, little head fake in, gets the weight of that offensive lineman to come in and allows him to come back outside. Great rush by Ford.
After the loss of 6, another pass play that's intercepted. Taking it back is Keontae Scott. He'll go all the way. Touchdown, Miami. A 70-yard pick 6 of Julian Sand. Keontae Scott's second interception return for a touchdown this season. Read that screen pass beautifully. And it's 13-0 Miami. Davis adds on 1.
And they want to set up the screen outside to Brandon Ennis. But the recognition from Keontae Scott is incredible. Watch him read this. Watch him get vertical and pick this pass off and take it the other way. He was hurt down the stretch of the season. He was back against A&M. One of the best, smartest players on this Miami defense. He's been a game changer all year and a game-changing play here in this Cotton. Immediately gets up the field and he jumps this route. As soon as he sees that motion, he's anticipating with the trips look. They're going to try to throw the screen to Ennis. Jeremiah Smith with the block verifies it. And Keontae Scott. Wow.
And how will Julian Sand, making his first college football playoff start at age 20, handle the moment with the Buckeyes down 14? Sand in trouble, but he finds Jeremiah Smith. And it's a first down to the 38-yard line. That is the third target and third catch for Smith, already 82 receiving yards.
Corey Heatherman down up pressure. Nice find by Julian Sand. Jeremiah Smith finds some open space, sits it down. Good response from Julian Sand. As you mentioned, Dave, picks in each of his last 2 games. And Julian Sand was able to bounce back. He's even kill, he's resilient. An important drive here for the sophomore quarterback.
We just showed you that game summary. It could be a bigger lead for Miami, but they turned it over inside the Ohio State 20. Here's C.J. Donaldson with some running room. Up to midfield for the Miami native. And West Virginia transfer brought down by Lucas. That's a first down at the 50.
I thought C.J. Donaldson looked great in practice this week. Looks a little leaner, light on his feet. Good job by the center, Carson Hinsman, pulling out, opening up that hole. With opening 2 plays here for the Buckeyes.
He was the starter, Donaldson, at running back at the beginning of the year. Bo Jackson didn't even play week 1 against Texas. Ended up leading the team in rushing with over 1,000 yards. Got one-on-one coverage downfield and going for Smith, but Frederic did an excellent job on the far sideline. 2nd and 10.
When this is a big challenge, working one-on-one outside with the best receiver in all of college football. And the sophomore in phase doing a good job. The top of that route, working Jeremiah Smith out of bounds. These guys are from the same area, man. Not far from one another, and it's going to be a battle all night with these corners and Jeremiah Smith.
Ohio State wanted a pass interference. You did see Frederic had the jersey of Smith. We haven't had a penalty yet in the game. Sand in trouble, gets hit. Gets away. Mesidor then throws him down back at the 35. A loss of 13.
Well, it's going to start with Jacoby Thomas. He's going to come off the edge, and then watch Moten inside. They're going to create this pressure, and Mesidor is going to clean it up. Pressure off the edge, interior pressure by Moten, and then Akeem Mesidor with his second sack of this first half. Relentless pass rush from the Hurricanes.
Sand was under duress against Indiana. Can the offensive line protect for him here? Setting up a screen to Donaldson. And he is spun down back at the 50, but well short of a first down. Wesley Fasaint on the tackle, and Ohio State will have to punt it away again. Down 14-0 early in the second.
You referenced Corey Heatherman earlier. What a job he has done with this defense. Coming over from Minnesota, he has been masterful this season. A lot of new paces on the back end of this defense. Brought a lot of transfers to help clean up that secondary. The defensive line was intact, and well, this defense all season has been outstanding.
Short punt by McGuire. They're able to pin Miami, though, inside the 11. 40-yard punt. Miami's defensive line getting after Ohio State's offensive line. And the Canes with a 14-0 lead in Arlington. The winner advances to play either Georgia or Ole Miss January 8th at 7:30 at the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. The last time Miami was in the Fiesta Bowl was the 2002 National Championship game, lost to Ohio State. Miami beat Texas A&M in the first round. Ohio State had a bye, has not played in 25 days. A lot of time left, but a rough start, obviously, for the Buckeyes. They did flip the field here. Miami starting on its 11-yard line. Ohio State's largest deficit in 3 years. They trailed by more than 14 against Michigan in 22 and lost that game. Not much there for Fletcher off the left side. McDonald on the tackle once again for Ohio State.
He's so powerful inside. We're seeing them move to more of an even front. 4 down instead of that bear look they played in a lot of this year.
Beck's pass is caught, and it's a Miami first down. C.J. Daniels has been the go-to guy here early on for Beck. He's got 4 receptions in the first half.
And it's more cushion from Igbinosun outside. Just a quick hitch, easy pass for Carson Beck. And as you referenced, Dave, C.J. Daniels having a huge impact here in this game.
Miami's defense is still not giving up a touchdown in the college football playoffs. Surrendered just 3 points last week, but scored only 10. Fletcher up the gut to the 25. McDonald again on the takedown. Gain of 3. Cade McDonald, a first-year starter, ends up being first-team All-America. That's the amazing thing about this defense. As good as they have been all season, they've got a handful of first-year starters. Beck with a long throw to Marion. Dumped by Sanchez at the 29. A pickup of 4. It'll be 3rd down. The rushing yards heavily favoring Miami. Great balanced offense for the Hurricanes against an excellent D coordinator in Matt Patricia.
Malachi Tony, typically the 3rd down option in situations like this. Top of your screen.
Miami 3 of 5 on 3rd down. Ohio State brings pressure. Beck sees it, takes off, and close to a first down at the 32-yard line. And it is a first down for the Canes.
Well, you referenced the pressure, but it's going to come off the edge. And watch as this opens up. This is just smart football here by Carson Beck. Little mesh concept, the 2 inside defenders, eyes on the receivers, no one's eyes on Carson Beck. The smart play and a good pickup from the veteran quarterback.
They may look at this further.
As the runner made the line to gain, The previous play is under video review.
Miami has doubled Ohio State in time of possession, and they can keep the football if the ruling on the field is upheld. Got to get to the 32. Can't see the ball from that angle.
Where's the ball as he's coming to the ground? Better shot at it here. Knee down. That is close, Dave.
Yeah, where that left knee went down. The ball's in his right hand. It was hard to tell if it was short or if he was able to get the first down. Let's bring in Matt Austin. Matt, your thoughts?
Yeah, Dave, I agree with you and Dusty. You can't see the knee and the ball in the same shot, and it's so close. I don't see anything they can do with it except uphold the call in the field.
Thank you, sir. Got to be clear and obvious.
After video review, the runner's shin was down prior to the line of gain. The ball will be placed at the 31.5-yard line, and it will be 4th down and a half a yard.
Apparently it was clear and obvious. If you're Miami, you punt it away, right?
You punt it away. The way your defense is playing right now, I do not take any chance and potentially give Ohio State a short field. It's a smart call. I know Mario Cristobal, I'd love to run the offensive line out there and be able to mush for just a half a yard, but punt the ball away and trust your defense to do what it's done this entire playoff.
And then Innes is back. Dylan Joyce will punt it from inside his 20. And it's an excellent kick. And it takes a Miami bounce and then roll all the way down to the 9-yard line. A 59-yard punt. Ohio State gets the ball back. Replay overturns the ruling on the field of a first down run for Carson Beck. Buckeyes ball down 14-zip when we come back.
Be an emotional game from him. He is from Miami. He grew up watching the Hurricanes, and I am sensing a little bit of that emotion on the sideline. He came to the sideline, slammed his helmet down in frustration, sat on the bike virtually the entire time, didn't talk to anybody, and didn't look at any video, Dave.
He does have 3 catches for 82 yards, just 4 completions for Sayan. No run on first down, and Jackson has nothing. Tracked down by Mohamed Toure in his 7th year. Come back from 2 ACL injuries. And again, Ohio State unable to run the football.
Toure is an alpha, a thumper. Played for Corey Heatherman at Rutgers and been a key piece of this defense.
Sayan moving to his left. And now trying to dump it off, a dangerous pass intended for Kazmarek. And broken up Toure with a big hit. He had a huge, enormous play in the Texas A&M game, breaking up a pass late in the game to secure a win.
Well, Kazmarek could be working on Akeem Mesidor, and he's trying to get out. Gets out late, and it's well diagnosed by Mo Toure. Well, you better protect Julian Sayan here. Not want to leave tight end in. Keep your eye on 4 and 3. They have been wreaking havoc on this offensive line.
Sayan's been sacked 3 times. Ohio State 0 for 3 on 3rd down.
Ruben Bain down here at the bottom of your screen. You got Mesidor up top.
Sayan from the goal line in trouble and throws it away. Another quick possession for Ohio State, and they will have to punt it from their own end zone.
Well, this is going to be an inside twist. Chase Smith's going to come here, and then we're going to get the looper here with 18, Armando Blunt. Really good job collisioning, getting to the back of that center by Chase Smith, and that pressure gets home. They are coming from all over, Dave. Blitzing off the edges, up the middle, having a field day with this offensive line.
Tony waits for this one on the 40. Makes the first defender miss, but eventually Ohio State catches up to Tony and gets into the ground at the 42 at the 5-minute mark. 3 timeouts left for both teams and the official 2-minute timeout as well. Aerial coverage is brought to you by Goodyear. Tried, tested, proven legendary. Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak, Taylor McGregor, Quint Kesnick with you. It is 14-0 Miami, the largest deficit for Ohio State in 3 seasons. The winner of this game will advance to play either Ole Miss or Georgia on January 8th in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. Ole Miss, Georgia tomorrow night. The last of 4 quarterfinals in ESPN at the All-State Sugar Bowl. Kickoff at 8 Eastern Time. Beck going back to work off play action. Climbs the pocket. And delivers a strike for a first down to Keelan Marion at the 44-yard line of Ohio State.
Well, it's play action pass, and I want you to watch the protection. Excellent job by the offensive line here for Miami. Going to give him a perfect pocket, allow him to step up and locate Keelan Marion. Hand fighting on the outside with the corner, Jermaine Matthews. That's tight coverage and a good accurate throw from Carson Beck.
Beck has been outstanding, 11 of 14 and a touchdown. Making his 41st career start. He'll give to Fletcher, who's knocked down by Igbinosun at the 41 for a gain of 3. Perhaps the most important 4 minutes this season for Ohio State, trying not to surrender any more points. Already trailing 14-zip.
They've got to get a stop. There's no question, and they'd like to get a stop in a timely fashion and give their offense the football back here before halftime.
They will get the ball to start the second half. 2nd down and 6 at the Ohio State 40. Quick throw by Beck to Marion. Upended after a gain of 3 by Igbinosun. It'll bring up 3rd down.
I like this game plan by Shannon Dawson. He's getting this defense running, moving laterally. A lot of throws we're seeing on the outside. Balls coming out quick, making this Ohio State defense have to run. And a crucial 3rd down here. They need Caden Curry to step up. We haven't called his name much. He's a leader on this defensive line. Right here inside, next to Arvell Reese.
Beck has not been sacked, really hasn't been pressured much in this game. And a timeout by Miami.
Timeout, Miami. It is their first. It will be 30 seconds.
Take a look at the college football playoff bracket brought to you by AT&T. 3 quarterfinal games starting at noon Eastern at the Capital One Orange Bowl. Oregon, Texas Tech, Alabama, Indiana to follow. And the Rose Bowl game presented by Prudential. And then again, the winner of this game will face either Ole Miss or Georgia. How surprised are you by what you were seeing here in the first half in Arlington?
I'm surprised. And look, the physicality in which Miami's playing with really jumps out at you. Both sides of the line of scrimmage. But also the experience of Carson Beck. We see him calm, collected, making the right plays, the right throws. And it's the young sophomore Julian Sayin who's been under duress, under pressure, and hasn't had any answers for this Miami defense.
Fletcher running straight ahead on 3rd and 3, pushing the pile down to the 41. It's 4th down. You wonder if Miami called that play with the idea that they would go for it if they didn't get it. Here on 4th down at about 2.
Carter Davis's long this season is 53. He had some issues at A&M, but there was a lot of wind. But yes, I think you call that play with the anticipation you at least cut it in half in the mindset that you're going to go for it. Of these bunch packages up top, Malachi Tony, inside receiver, that trick punch.
Back with time, and he finds Tony for a first down. Great protection Tony came free, and Beck put it on him.
They get in these bunch sets because they make you have to separate it. I want you to watch Malachi Tony just kind of dance and create just enough separation from Jermaine Matthews. The ball delivered on time and on target.
And that takes us to the 2-minute timeout.
This
Miami
is
looking to
the
add
2-minute
to a
timeout.
14-0 lead. A brilliantly called first half by offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson, head coach Mario Cristobal. Keontae Scott reads that screen pass, picks it off, takes it back 70 yards for a touchdown. It is 14-0 Miami. They've run 18 plays in Ohio State territory to just 2 for the Buckeyes. And Carson Beck is red hot. He's completed 12 straight passes for the Hurricanes. First down at the Ohio State 30. Miami has 2 timeouts remaining. Back to the air again. They get some pressure on him, and Beck is sacked for the first time today. Back at the 35-yard line.
Timeout.
A loss on the play of
Ohio
about
State.
5, and Ohio State takes
first.
the timeout. Kenyatta Jackson Jr. gets to the quarterback.
Well, this one's all about the coverage, and there's nowhere to go with the football. Carson Beck, initially, he's got time, but as you can see, covered down the field, and then the pressure's able to get home. Had Malachi Tony briefly in the middle of the field, couldn't locate him, and a big sack for Ohio State.
They want the ball back, so they use a timeout here. Each team with 2 left. 1:54 to go in the first half. There was a point this season when Miami was considered maybe the best team in the country. They climbed all the way to number 2, in part because of a opening night win over Notre Dame, which eventually probably got them in the college football playoff to begin with as an at-large. They ended up losing 2 of 3. They dropped in the polls, but they've won 5 in a row entering tonight and looking again like that team we saw in September and early October. 3 more quarterfinals tomorrow on ESPN. Late first half here at the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. And in trouble is Tony in the backfield. Sonny Styles with the takedown and a loss of 6 on the play.
We've been waiting to call number 0's number. He reads this perfectly. When he sees the motion, watch him as he's just going to come downhill and make this play. As soon as Malachi Tony starts in motion, you see him shuffle right, get downhill, and get a second straight tackle for loss for this Buckeyes defense. Now bumping Miami out of field goal range, right there around the 40-yard line. Going to be right on the cusp of what Carter Davis is capable of making.
The best defensive sequence for Ohio State tonight. And it'll be 3rd down and 20 at the 40-yard line. The most tackles on the year for anybody without a missed tackle. Just incredible, Sonny Styles.
And he's a former safety, and he's really been learning this linebacker position. Give the linebackers coach James Laurinaitis a ton of credit. But it's 6'5", 243. He's got the skills, but now he's learned how to play linebacker. An important play there on 2nd down.
You just run it here, try to get 5 or 6 yards to get back closer to field goal range.
That's it, Malachi Tony.
Beck will throw on 3rd down and 20, and he's taking a shot. And good coverage downfield. Marion, the intended receiver, Sanchez in coverage. And Ohio State able to hold there. Will get the ball back with 1 timeout, 1:44 to go in the game as Miami will punt it.
Those 2 negative plays, so important for this Buckeyes defense. Pushing that Miami offense back 10 yards, moving them from field goal range. And as you referenced, you don't just get to stop and force the punt, but now you've got time, the timeout in your pocket to try to get points on the board before halftime.
Joyce hesitated, and Ohio State almost got to that, but Miami's down there, and they're able to save it from going into the end zone. Jabari Antoine catches it at the 2-yard line.
Would not have executed this any more brilliantly for Miami. The punt from Joyce right where it needed to be.
Well, Dusty, in talking with Ryan Day yesterday, he was concerned about what he called the restart after 25 days off. One thing he wasn't concerned about was taking over play calling. Given his experience with it, you wonder, though, does it take time to get back into a rhythm when for the last 2 years you've been managing the game primarily, not calling the plays? Donaldson gives him some breathing room out to about the 5 and maybe the 6. Teray on the hit for Miami.
Miami going to start to use their timeouts as they've got the Buckeyes backed up.
There's Brian Hartline, who was calling the plays. He's off to be the head coach at USF. So Day told us wanted to take something off of Hartline's plate. And obviously Ryan Day's been an excellent play caller for a long time. Just been 2 years since he's been doing it consistently.
Yeah, he hadn't done it. He hadn't gotten into the flow, gotten into the rhythm, and as you referenced, doing that while managing the game. You know, there was a reason he brought in Chip Kelly last season and Brian Hartline took over the play calling duties. It allows him to allocate his time, his resources elsewhere. And obviously calling the plays requires so much of your time, your attention, your focus. But it's been all about this Miami defense here in this first half. And Ruben Bain has been excellent. They're working inside on the guard. See this twist done here. Blitz by Chase Smith, the wrap by Blunt. No time for Julian Sayin to set his feet. Keontae Scott coming off one edge. It's Amon Moten inside. Relentless effort from this defense all night.
One offensive touchdown, one defensive touchdown for Miami. Sayin from the end zone. Steps out and then dumps it off to Donaldson, who's wrestled to the ground by Teray. Close to the first down. We're inside 2 minutes. If it is a first down, and it is, the clock will stop to reset the chains. 1:21 to go in the half. One timeout remaining for each team.
Well, it's good coverage down the field. Julian Sayin's eyes were down the field. No one was open. I thought really good job by C.J. Donaldson after the catch. You saw the physicality powering through that tackle to move the sticks.
6'2", 232-pound senior from Miami. C.J. Donaldson stays in the game here for the Buckeyes at tailback. Sayin over the middle to Carnell Tate. The first catch of the game for Tate, his 49th on the season, and another Ohio State first down.
Well, this is so good by C.J. Donaldson. Watch him in blitz pickup. You're going to see pressure come now. Donaldson's going to work back across the quarterback and allow time for this throw.
Ohio State with tempo. Donaldson got to get out of bounds and does to stop the clock at 1:07 after a gain of 8 yards to the 35-yard line. Knocked out of play by Jacoby Thomas.
Impactful plays here late in this half for number 12, C.J. Donaldson. Brought him over from West Virginia, catching the football, and I can't tell you how good that blitz pickup was from Donaldson to allow the time for Julian Sayin.
Sayin 7 of 13, came in leading the nation and on pace to set the single season record for completion percentage. Over the middle he finds Innes, another Ohio State first down at the 46. The clock will stop momentarily at 1:02.
Captain Brandon Innes, nice route over the middle and a dart delivered from Sayin.
Sayin getting in a rhythm. Another completion. No, Innes couldn't hang on. The ball knocked free by Ethan O'Connor. Incomplete. Another big hit in the secondary by the Canes.
Ethan O'Connor is going to come up, drive on this football and jar it loose. Brandon Innes was looking for a flag at the end. You're going to see O'Connor lift, pick up, and then slam to the ground. Actually, a little surprised that didn't draw a flag.
We have not had a single flag yet in this first half thrown by the officials. Not even a declined penalty here in the first half.
Jeremiah Smith up top. He's one-on-one.
Ohio State has to snap at the play clock at 2. Sayin in trouble, gets rid of it to Donaldson. And he does not get the first down. Ohio State has one timeout left. Clock moving, 43 seconds and counting. The long on the season for their kicker, Jaden Fielding, is 49 yards, so they still have about 15 yards to go. Taking a long time here to snap the ball. Sayin can't take a sack and gets rid of it. It is caught for a first down by Innes at the 39. The clock will stop at 25 seconds to move the sticks.
When Key Mesidor wins, that's great strength by Sayin. Mesidor's on his leg, but he stands tall, finds Innes over the middle.
We have a stoppage of play here.
Prior to the snap, timeout, Miami. It is their third. It will be 30 seconds. Please reset the game clock to 22 seconds.
They'll put 1 second back on the clock here, and again, Ohio State has that timeout.
Well, now it's Josh Padilla in at right guard, and we're seeing Akeem Mesidor condensed down to defensive tackle, went off the edge. How about that strength of Sayin, Dave? He's got Mesidor wrapped around his legs and able to keep his eyes down the field and locate Innes and move the chains.
Coming up, the Mercedes-Benz halftime report, first half analysis and previews of all 3 quarterfinal games tomorrow on ESPN. Oregon, Texas Tech, Alabama, Indiana, and Georgia, Ole Miss, the other 3 quarterfinals. Winner of this game will advance to the Verbo Fiesta Bowl to face either Georgia or Ole Miss.
These matchups in the quarterfinals are sensational. Cannot wait for that matchup, Texas Tech and Oregon. A rushing attack of the Ducks, that run defense attack. It's going to be a fun way to start 2026.
So Mesidor and Bain are not out there right now for Miami, with Ohio State inside the Hurricane 40. The last time they got this deep, they turned it over. An interception return for a score by Keontae Scott. Sayin finds Tate, can't get out of bounds. And Ryan Day is going to use that final timeout as they're close to Jaden Fielding's range. Trying to get some points here before halftime and get a 2-for-1 because they get the ball to start the second half.
This is such a massive drive. Think about it. Miami had the ball on the 30-yard line. Ohio State gets a couple of negative plays, pushes them out of field goal range. This drive for the Buckeyes starts on the 2. And here they are in field goal range with 16 seconds to play. Great job here by Julian Sayin, bouncing back, man. He's been under so much pressure, so much duress.
Let's check in with Quint Kesnick.
Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor were off the field on that last play. They're gassed, they're breathing. They don't sub much at Miami on the D-line. This is something that we got to keep as this game swings forward, third and fourth quarter. Bain and Mesidor both play with such ferocity and such a work rate that they need breaks, and right now they're back on the field.
Well, the good news for them, Quinn, is they've only been out there as a team defensively for 10 minutes because the offense has had the ball for almost 20.
Julian Sayin's got to be smart. He can't take a sack, can't get tackled in bounds. You're going to throw something, it's got to be outside. The clock will stop on a first down so they can get a first and they can clock it.
No timeouts remaining. 4-man rush. Here comes Bain. Sayin steps up and throws it away. He probably could have run to get the first down, which would have stopped the clock and had time to spike the ball. Elected to just throw it out of bounds.
Ruben Bain is a menace, working on that right tackle. How about the hand swipe, the dip, and the turn? Well, how about Julian Sayin holding on to that football? Ruben Bain was attacking the ball. 2 hands on the football. It's smart there by Julian Sayin. No one's open down the field, but if he gets sacked in that spot, you're potentially walking away at halftime with no points on this drive.
Right now, about a 49-yard field goal try from here. Again, that's the long for Jaden Fielding, but you wonder about his confidence after missing what would have been the game-time field goal, missed from 27 yards in the loss to Indiana. Sayin back to throw, and again fires to the sideline, but there was pressure coming. Sayin was not happy with his receiver that time. It was Brandon Innes. He wanted him to keep coming back towards the football. And so it's 4th down, and here comes Fielding with 6 seconds left. 16 of 19 on the season. The 49-yarder came in early November at Purdue to get Ohio State on the board before halftime. And it's way off the mark. No good. 1 second remaining in the half. It remains 14-0 Miami.
And the most promising drive of the night ends with nothing as Fielding going to pull this to his left. Snap looked good, hold looked good. Just left the whole way, Dave.
We mentioned you got to wonder about Fielding confidence after the miss against Indiana. We talked with Ryan Day yesterday, asked would there be any changes in the kicking game. He said nope, they have confidence in Fielding. Miami is going to take a knee. And the first half comes to an end here in Arlington. Last time Ohio State scoreless in the first half was the Fiesta Bowl in 2016. Here's Taylor.
Thank you. Coach Day, you were worried about the long layoff leading up to this game. How do you feel like that's impacted your group in the first half?
We just got to do a better job protecting. We certainly had the pick six that certainly flipped the first half of this game, but we got to get a rhythm going here, and we got to do a better job in protection, staying on track, converting on third down, and then go from there. But we got to come out with a good drive to start the second half.
Thank you. Here's Mario Cristobal and Clint Pesnick.
Coach, how would you describe the physicality of your fronts, your offensive line and your defensive line?
I mean, a game like this, like body blows, you just got to keep bringing it, right? And every single play, like all 11 have to out-hit the other side. And also, when you get hit, you got to get your ass back up and go. But we wasted an opportunity there before halftime to get some more points on the board and put our defense in a bad spot. So we got to come out and get that fixed.
Thank you, Coach.
Miami playing arguably its biggest game in 23 years, and they lead Ohio State in the quarterfinal 14-0. On the other side of the break, Reese Davis has the Mercedes-Benz halftime report. You're watching. Taking place in Arlington at halftime. It is the 10-seed Miami leading the 2-seed Ohio State 14-0. Ohio State with -3 rushing yards in the first half. Its worst rushing half in 20 years. Deontay Scott a pick six, 72 yards. And Ohio State has not scored since the first half of the Big Ten championship game loss to Indiana. Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak, Taylor McGregor, and Quint Kesnick. All right, Dusty, you look at Ohio State. They're not used to being in this position. Their largest deficit they faced all year. They didn't have any issues like this when they won the national championship last year. What do they have to do differently?
They got to get the offense going. Got to protect Julian Sand. I think he built some confidence on that final drive. I'd like to see him utilize some tempo. Try to wear down that defensive line of Miami. Go fast, get the ball out quick, and of course be able to establish some semblance of a running game. But C.J. Donaldson made some impactful plays late in that half. We'll see if we see more of him here in the second half.
First of 4 quarterfinals, 3 more tomorrow on ESPN. And electing to run it out is James Peoples. And he gets tattooed at the 17-yard line. Let's check in with Taylor.
Well, Dusty mentioned tempo at the end of the first half for Ohio State, and I asked Ryan Day, will we see more of that? He said that was our 2-minute offense, but we will certainly sprinkle that tempo in here in the second half. And I point blank asked him, how do you get your offense into a rhythm? And he said, one word, execute.
It's been a struggle for that offensive line for Ohio State all night. And they protect Julian Sand, making his first college football playoff start. He threw a pick six. Jeremiah Smith had 3 early catches, not much since. Cornell Tate had a couple of catches late in the first half. Can they get that star tandem involved? They'll run it on first down with Bo Jackson, and he's got some room, but the hole closes. Great spin down tackle by Thomas after a gain of about 6.
Blocking off the right side. Will Kazmarek, the tight end, getting to the second level. Good, successful opening run to start this second half.
Ohio State struggled to run the ball in the loss to Indiana. Just 58 yards rushing in that game. They are now in the positive after that 7-yard run, but just 4 total rushing yards tonight. Jackson again, downhill run, and he's got a first down out to the 31. 4 carries in the first half, 2 on the first 2 plays for Jackson.
Look at scheme run here, pull backside guard and the backside tackle, 51 Luke Montgomery. Nice job by 69 Ian Moore getting up to that second level. A good physical run there by Bo Jackson.
Winner of this game plays either Georgia or Ole Miss in the semifinals at the Verbo Fiesta Bowl January 8th. Play action. Sayin setting up, looking downfield. Everybody covered, so he dumps it off on a crossing route to Innes. He scoots out a play at the 37, a gain of 6.
I thought he might have had Jeremiah Smith on a deep post safety roll over the top late. Then he locates Brandon Innes over the middle. Brandon Innes was important on that final drive of the first half. Been doing a really good job in the interior of the field and being an outlet for Julian Sayin.
They were able to move the ball, but missed a 49-yard field goal at the end of the half. Another run play on second down, and a first down for Jackson. All the way to the 45 of Miami. They have found something early on in the third quarter in the run game, as Ohio State is moving the football after a gain of 18.
Well, this is really good. Watch Max Clare. He's going to set the edge. And then the backside guard, 62, Josh Padilla, is going to get up to that second level. Excellent job. Counter scheme, gap scheme runs. We've seen 2 of them now have success on this opening drive.
Donaldson in the game now at tailback from the 45 of Miami. Sayin facing pressure, steps up, and sacked back at midfield. Marquise Lightfoot, who had a sack and a half the entire regular season, gets one here, the 4th of the day for Miami.
Well, this is a 230-pound defensive end that just continues to fight, dig in, works through a double team, gets that rip up high, continues to climb. Julian Sayin can't find anything open down the field, and it's Lightfoot with the sack.
Sayin was sacked 6 times during the regular season. He was sacked 5 times in the Big Ten title game by Indiana, and 4 times tonight by Miami. And they protect him on second and long. He has time, and he has his man, Smith, who gets belted, but hangs onto the ball at the 26-yard line. Poyser with the hit, but it's a gain of 23.
Well, the safety's going to rock down. Jacoby Thomas, middle of the field comes open, and a nice route as Jeremiah Smith climbs the ladder to bring it in and flexes on the Miami secondary.
He's over 100 yards now on the day, closing in on 1,200 for the season after 1,300 as a freshman a year ago. C.J. Donaldson up the middle. Closing in on the red zone, down to the 22. A gain of about 4.
Offensive line really getting good push to start this second half. They got beat up in the first half, and I would imagine there were some strong conversations there at halftime. They've come out playing with some physicality in the run game and much better protection of Julian Sayin here early.
Got Josh Padilla in at right guard. Tegra Shabola injured, not available today. We saw Gabe Van Sicklen earlier at right guard. To patch the right side of that O-line.
I know Tate in the backfield.
And a swing to Tate out in space. He's got the first down inside the 10-yard line. Isidore on the stop, but it's first and goal for the Buckeyes.
Well, I want you to take a look at a couple of guys right here. These 2 tight ends, they're going to do such a good job. And we're going to just see a little swing outside. It's going to be a screen. Get Kazmarek out in front. Get Max Clare out in front. Big guys on smaller DBs. And get the ball in the hands of Carnell Tate out in space with blockers out in front.
Deepest the Buckeyes have been into Miami territory all night. Trying to get on the board for the first time. Sayin to the air on first and goal. And Sayin dumps it off, and a huge hit on Kazmarek at the 5-yard line by Thomas. Kazmarek able to hang on to the ball, a gain of 3.
But good by Julian Sayin, just working through his progressions. And he finds Kazmarek, but he pays the price. A punishing blow delivered on Kazmary.
10th play of a 6-minute drive coming up. Ryan Day calling the plays. Had not called them during the season or last year, but the primary play caller his first 5 seasons as the head coach at Ohio State. First game in 25 days for the Buckeyes. Up the middle, Jackson bounces off a defender. And inside the 1-yard line, Reuben Bain on the hit. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Really trying to establish the line of scrimmage. You want to neutralize a pass rush, punch a defensive line right in the mouth. Statement drive here by Ohio State to start this second half. And we'll see if they can finish it off.
Jackson falls forward with the ball and into the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State. Finally, the Buckeyes are on the board midway through the 3rd quarter.
A good second effort by Bo Jackson. He's contacted short of the goal line. His legs aren't down, and he stretches that ball over the end zone to get the Buckeyes their first touchdown of the night.
As you said, the legs weren't down. His body was on top of a Miami defender, so Bo Jackson was still live. And he gets his 6th rushing touchdown of the season. Didn't even play week 1, the true freshman from Cleveland. Didn't start the first 4 games, but he's got over 1,000 yards on the season. Was featured on that drive, and he finally gets catered for Ohio State. 14-7.
Well, there was a lot of 2 tight end sets here, and Max Clare leads the way inside on Bassane, and it's Bo Jackson finishing it off. The Buckeyes coming out, ready to fight here in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. 6 rushes there for 35 yards. We showed it. They had -3 at halftime. It's a great start for the Buckeyes here in the second half.
Touchback coming. Let's check in with Quint for a Miami update.
The change of momentum in this game is a little palpable. Miami's defense, which was bouncing around in the first half, off the field, starting to look fatigued and tired, and that'll put pressure on Carson Beck. 14 points is not going to win this game, Dave, and Carson Beck, who was so effective in that first half because he had a clean pocket, he had sharp eyes. They're going to need more from the 6-year senior.
He had a stretch of 13 consecutive completions, Quint, which is a Cotton Bowl record. He's 14 of 18, not a lot of yards. 98, does have a touchdown and was sacked only once. Got a ton of experience with all those big games at Georgia. A backup on 2 national title teams. Miami playing arguably its biggest game in 23 years. Can Beck help settle down things here in the 3rd? Hand off to Fletcher, and that's good yardage on 1st down. A gain of 5.
You know, it's interesting. Ohio State plays a lot of bare fronts, meaning they have a head up, nose over the center. 2-3 techniques, so the guards are covered, and then 2 edge players. They're playing a lot more 4-man front here tonight. They ran some bare early, but Miami having some success running the football. Now they're in more of an even front and a 4-down look. We'll see if that holds throughout this second half.
Matt Patricia, one of the best defensive minds in football. 3 Super Bowl championships with the Patriots. First year at Ohio State. A knockdown. And Caden McDonald, who's been phenomenal all season, makes it 3rd and 5.
Well, if you can't get to the quarterback, get your hand up, get the passing lane, and watch him work right here, just to his left, to his right. Going to do a really nice job working out, getting that right bear paw up, and getting the football down. And this Buckeyes crowd coming to life for this first 3rd down here in the second half.
Ohio State brings a little pressure, and Beck throws a strike for a 1st down to Marion. Out to the 42. A gain of 12 on 3rd down and 5.
Wow, what a big time throw. Both these backers are hugged up in the A gap, showing pressure. But you see outside off coverage from the freshman Devin Sanchez. Big pickup there inside by Fletcher. And you see Carson Beck just collected there in the pocket and firing a strike.
The Miami coaches told us Daniels and Marion will have to step up. Each has 4 catches. Tony has 4 as well, but all on short throws. Straight ahead run. Fletcher splattering the pile. And out to the 48. Another hard run by Mark Fletcher and a gain of 6. Caden Curry eventually got him to the ground.
Mention it, just pushing the pile. The offensive line legs continue to churn. Mark Fletcher refusing to go down. Here at the end of this run, just a forward lean of the entire Miami front. Continuing to push, fight for every yard.
Fletcher again up the middle with room, breaks a tackle, and finally brought down by Downs, who may have saved the touchdown. 12 more yards on the ground for Fletcher, and Miami's at the Ohio State 40.
This is so good by Brockemeyer. You're going to get a double here and work up to the second level. The center, 52, Brockemeyer. Just a punch, and then up to the second level to secure Sonny Styles to help spring Mark Fletcher to that third level.
Miami leads 14-7, plus they had a turnover. They could have had more points. They coughed it up in the red zone. Fletcher fumbled it on the first drive. No penalties yet in this game. Gerard Pringle Jr., true freshman, doesn't get much that time. Houston and Curry team up on the tackle. Gain of a couple for Pringle.
This Buckeyes defense is not accustomed to getting pushed around and the ball run on them. Giving up, coming into tonight, 84.5 yards. The Hurricanes up to 92 yards on the ground. Matt Patricia has been mastermind of this defense all season. He's looking at that play sheet, trying to find answers for this Hurricanes drive.
They have not given up 20-plus points all season long. It's the first time in more than 30 years that's happened in college football. Beck in trouble, steps up, got back close to the line of scrimmage. Brought down by Styles. It will go down as a sack. A loss of 1. It's 3rd down and 9.
But now they walk Sonny Styles up to the line of scrimmage. You're going to see him now playing over here in the slot. He's going to come scot-free off the edge, get the leg of Carson Beck. Pringle goes the other way. No one identifies Styles. And now a 3rd and long situation for Miami. Hiding Malachi Tony inside. He's in a wing spot right here.
Now he motions out. Beck looking that way. Tony caught it. Foot of the ball. Tony picks it up, and he's tackled short of the line to gain. A catch, fumble, recovery by Tony. It's 4th down. It would be about a 50-yard field goal try from here as the kicking team heads out.
Well, what a heads-up play by Malachi Tony, because Caleb Downs dislodges the football. Perfect bounce, and Tony's back on top. Seamlessly catches that and gets back up the field. Disaster averted. Malachi Tony shaken up from that hit from Caleb Downs.
Carter Davis, 1 for 4 against Texas A&M. This would be to extend the lead to 10. It has the leg, and it's good! A 49-yarder by Carter Davis to make it 17-7 Miami. After Ohio State marched down the field and scored, Miami needed to respond and did. The Canes get 3, and their lead back to 10 late in the 3rd. Right here on ESPN, the winner of this game will face either Georgia or Ole Miss in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. Malachi Tony caught the football, got hit by Downs, was able to recover the ball. It bounces right to him. He's tackled short of the line to gain. Miami makes a 49-yard field goal, but now Tony's shaken up and into the 10th. We're being told he's out of the tent. We will get you an update when one is provided to us by Miami. Davis, after nailing that 49-yard field goal, will kick it deep. This will be a touchback. See if Ohio State can do what it did on its opening drive this half when it marched down the field and scored. The Buckeyes trail by 10 late in the third.
Well, how about the physicality? Little counter scheme run. Max Clare out on the edge. Padilla getting up to the second level. And a nice run between the tackles for Bo Jackson. What's that setup? Bring that safety down. Sets up the play action. Middle of the field comes open for Jeremiah Smith. Once they can establish a run, it opens up the pass game. And then good physical running for the touchdown for Bo Jackson.
Able to neutralize Bain and Mesidor on that last possession after they were all over Sayin in the first half. Donaldson running to the right. Spun down by Thomas at the 29. Sayin was 4 for 4 passing on that last possession. We have an injured Miami player. It's Ahmad Moten, one of their key defensive linemen. But that running of Bo Jackson on that last drive, helping out the young quarterback with a play action game. And a good pickup here on first down of 4 yards.
Ahmad Moten has been such a key piece to this defensive line. We focus on Mesidor and Bain, but inside, as he gets bent over 70 Phillip Daniels, he has really played well on the interior as a pass rusher, a run stopper. He's still down on the ground.
Late third, we still do not have a penalty on either team. Not even one declined in this game. And Miami leads at 17-7. Winner of this game will face the winner of that final game at the All-State Sugar Bowl. Sayin over the middle, as is tight end Kazmarek. A first down on the first play of this drive. It goes for 12 yards.
We're seeing a lot of 12 personnel. That's one back, 2 tight ends. Will Kazmarek and Max Clare. They've been integral here in this bolstered rushing attack in the second half, and a nice job there by Kazmarek, just setting it down in the middle of the field for a nice target for Julian Sayin and a first down.
Ohio State, the reigning champs. The Buckeyes have never won back-to-back national titles. Trying to become the first team in this 12-team playoff era that got a bye and ended up winning a quarterfinal game. Donaldson up the middle, and he is shoved back. Justin Scott in there for Miami.
Miami built some depth on the interior of the defensive line. Ahmad Moten out. Justin Scott, the talented sophomore, who's really stepped his game up the last 5 games of the season.
Sayin wide open is Ennis. He's able to juke one defender and get a first down into Miami territory. Nearing 1 minute to play in the third quarter. And Sayin playing much better here after one of his worst halves of the season in the first half. He came in completing 78% of his passes. That would be a record, a national record for a single season. He's a first-year starter, a transfer from Alabama. Didn't play there. Left 2 years ago after Nick Saban retired. Was behind Will Howard, who was the starting quarterback last year. Bo Jackson down to the 44. 4 more yards. Second down coming up.
With Max Clare doing work outside. These tight ends, Max Clare really more of a pass catcher, but he's really improved as a blocker. Really impactful here on the edge on Frederic. Get a tight end on a corner, and it's a great matchup.
Off play action. They're going for Smith, and he makes the catch. What a throw on a back shoulder. Smith able to get a little separation from Frederic. It's a gain of 22 and a first down.
Well, you said it. Perfect throw on the back shoulder. Jeremiah Smith gets a little extension, but he gets away with it. And how about that? Not 1 but 2 feet in bounds. Outstanding concentration by Jeremiah Smith on the sidelines.
We're being told an injury timeout. The reason for the stoppage, you see a Miami player down on the sideline. Can't see a number just yet. 16 seconds left. Ohio State with a first down on the Miami 22. It's O.J. Frederick who is in coverage there. Banged up on the play. Smith now 5 catches, 127 yards. They've had so many good receivers the last few years at Ohio State. Jeremiah Smith could probably be a pretty good NFL player right now, but he's got to come back to school next year for another season. He's a true sophomore.
I think he's the best player in college football. Any position. His size, the mismatch he creates with the power he generates. He can run any route. And just a fabulous play.
Ohio State snaps it right before the end of the quarter. A trick play as Smith gets the perimeter, but doesn't get much. Miami able to track him down, and it ends up being just a 1-yard gain. Keontae Scott with the tackle. 1 quarter to go in Arlington. A spot in the semis at stake. Miami by 10. You're watching the Goodyear. Kills has to come from behind. Moments ago, Ryan Day with Taylor.
Coach, you've been able to find an offensive rhythm here in the second half. What's worked?
We're executing better, protecting better, getting a good rhythm here. We got the ball on the 21-yard line, so we got to finish this drive right here. Really important part.
Thank you, Coach. Dave.
Obviously, any points here would get it to a 1-possession game. It hasn't been that since early in the second quarter. Second down and 9. They tried to run Jeremiah Smith on a reverse on first down, and he gained only a yard. Bo Jackson off the edge. He gets drilled at the 15-yard line by Poyser. It'll be 3rd and short.
Well, again, it's about these tight ends. Max Clare going to lead the way. Watch him get up to this second level and get an excellent block to help secure this run for Jackson. Sets up 3rd and very manageable. The run game's open. The throw game's open. Julian Sayen's hot right now, completing his last 7 passes.
And a great third quarter bounce back by Sayen. 3rd down and 3. Almost as many yards in the 3rd than they had the entire first half. They'll keep it on the ground with Donaldson. And it's going to be close. Nope. I'm going to say actually was down and then bounced off the turf at the 16. Now Ryan Day late in the Indiana game decided to go for it when they were down 3. They didn't get it. What would you do here?
I think they're going for it. I think based off that play call, this was 4-down territory. And I don't think they're going to put this on the foot of their kicker, Jaden Fielding. Offense stays on the field. I would not be surprised if they trust Julian Sayen. Play action and keep an eye on these tight ends, Claire and Kazmera.
Sayen over the middle. He's got Smith for a first down. Into the end zone, touchdown. There is a penalty flag, the first one of the night.
It's going to be a hold on 41 Chase Smith.
Holding. Defense number 41. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Julian Sayen, you said it. They trust their young quarterback. He hung in there. Found Jeremiah Smith. And Smith gets his 6th touchdown of his college football playoff career. And the Buckeyes a point after away from making it a 3-point game. And Fielding knocks it through.
Well, Corey Heatherman's going to dial up a blitz. He's trying to get home. He's trying to disrupt. Safety's going to come. Linebacker's going to come. But it's going to be leave open the middle of the field. You can't leave the middle of the field open for Jeremiah Smith. A strike from Sayen and a touchdown for Jeremiah Smith. The Buckeyes are rolling here in this second half. We got a ball game in Arlington.
8 for 8 passing in the second half with 2 touchdowns. The last one to Jeremiah Smith. With 5 touchdowns in the playoff last year. And his most recent one gets the Buckeyes within 3. NFL Week 18 features an ESPN ABC Saturday doubleheader. Major playoff implications. Bucks and Panthers, that very well could decide the NFC South, depending on what Atlanta does the next day against New Orleans. Then the Seahawks and 49ers, the winner of that game not only wins the NFC West, but gets the #1 seed in the NFL playoffs.
I think the Niners might be the best team in the NFC. Watching that Bears game last week, that was a knockdown drag-out. It's going to be a fun one against Seattle.
Miami first down on its 25. Malachi Tony back on the field, injured forearm in the third quarter, but he's returned. That's him with the little half motion, and back to throw, fires a deep ball. Almost pulled in, but incomplete. Daniels could not bring it in with one hand. True freshman Devin Sanchez in coverage.
Stride for stride right there with C.J. Daniels. There's hand fighting, but it's on both sides. I like the no call. Both these guys jockeying for position. Devin Sanchez in a really good spot.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy, he's got a guy in front of him. Nice there. Matt Austin, we haven't seen many flags. Did that deserve a flag?
Well, if you're not playing the ball and you wrap your arms around the guy and the ball hits you in the back, yes, that should probably draw a flag.
Yeah, they missed one there for sure. They've been letting them play all night. Second down and 10. Fletcher hit in the backfield. Caden McDonald stuffs that play. Third down and about 12 after the 2-yard setback.
Well, now they get back into their bare front. This is where Caden McDonald is at his best, when he can just own the center and play on the other side of the football. Big TFL for Big 98.
Pressure off the edge. Beck steps up, takes off, and Beck puts his head down and gets a first down. Now Carson Beck is every bit of 6'5", 230, and he needed every bit of that strength and power to move the chains.
Well, how about the guts and toughness of Carson Beck? Never going to be confused as a runner. He knows where he's got to get. The AT&T connected cam gives you a look. He lowers his shoulder on 28 Leroy Roker III. And a very impactful and important first down for Carson Beck.
Keeps the clock moving. Miami by 3, early 4th. 3 minutes gone by. Fletcher again hit in the backfield, but able to bounce off of downs, get back to the line of scrimmage, and maybe a yard. That Ohio State defense, which has been ferocious all season long, has come alive here in the second half.
Caleb Downs is so quick, and a timely blitzer. Times it up so well. I was telling you this, Dave, it's almost like when you watch him on film, he's one step ahead of everybody out there. Felt it, saw it, pulled the trigger, and a nice play at the line of scrimmage.
Matt Patricia said one of the smartest players he's ever coached, and think about all the Hall of Famers he had with the Patriots on defense. Second and 9. Back to the sideline to Marion. Bumped out a play by Igbinosun. A gain of 4. Third down coming up.
Very important third down here, as it just feels like Ohio State has captured all the momentum in this building, but the way the offense has stepped up and played this second half. We'll see if the best defense in America can come up with a big third down stop. Arvell Reese inside. Better get somebody on him.
Play clock down to 5. Back from the pocket in trouble. Gets rid of it high and incomplete. Going for Lofton. It's 4th down and 5 from the Miami. 4th down and 7 rather. From inside the Miami 40, and the Hurricanes are going to have to punt it back to Ohio State with 10:24 to play.
Well, Caden Curry gets the initial hit, and it's Arvell Reese playing spy. Closes on the football and gets the big shot on Carson Beck. Huge stop for this Buckeyes defense.
Dylan Joyce standing at his 25-yard line. Brandon Innes is deep for Ohio State. And this one kicked to the other return man, Downs, and it's a poor punt. Lands out of bounds. And the official will stop at the 25-yard line. Ohio State ball down 3 as you're watching the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Jeremiah Smith closing in on Devontae Smith's college football playoff record for most receiving yards. The Miami native who almost went to Miami. It came down to the Canes and the Buckeyes. He chose Ohio State, and boy, our Buckeye fans glad about that.
And he's having himself a ball game. This is early down the field. You better have a plan for him. Double coverage. You see here, how about the concentration? The foot tap on the sidelines. That last drive capped off on 4th and 2 with the touchdown grab. So good after the catch.
Taco Bell bringing the Live Más student section to the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Today they're picking up the tab for students from each school so that passionate fans could come cheer on their teams. Jeremiah Smith told us yesterday he's finally 100%. He was banged up at the end of the year, didn't practice. Thought he was going to miss 2 to 3 games, but said he wanted to tough it out to play with his teammates. He finally got back on the practice field after the Big Ten title game. Sayan going to the tight end, Kazmir, who stays in bounds after a missed tackle and gets a first down to the 37-yard line, a gain of 12.
Well, it's Ethan O'Connor, the smaller cornerback on a big 260-pound tight end. Right now, Ohio State just having their way. Might have been a slow start offensively. Give Miami's defense credit, but Ryan Day has really gotten to a rhythm, gotten to a flow, calling plays, a lot of success, running the football, and now we see Julian Sayan on a tear.
A perfect second half for Sayan. Buckeyes down 3. 9.5 to go. Donaldson gets the carry and brought down by Mesidor. Really the first time we've called either Mesidor or Bain's name here in the second half.
Well, it's been a different brand of football. It's been roll your sleeves up, more physical at the line of scrimmage, slows down that pass rush, utilizing multiple tight ends, some gap scheme runs. Good physical piece of running there by C.J. Donaldson. A stiff arm helps him with a nice pickup on first down.
A spot in the semifinals at the Verbo Fiesta Bowl on the line tonight. Winner advances to play either Ole Miss or Georgia. Sayan in trouble, and he's brought down at the 30. Wesley Bassett with the sack, and a loss of about 9 on the play.
Wesley Bassett's going to make this play, but I want you to watch the safety up top as well, because he's going to come down. Julian Sayan's going to look to Jeremiah Smith, but the safety comes down and robs that and allows the pressure to get home from Bassett. Really, really good scheme there. Bassett rolls through Bo Jackson on the AT&T connected cam. And a nice job up top covering 4 over the middle.
So Miami luminaries, Michael Irvin, Ray Lewis looking on for 3rd down and 15. Stepping up, Sayan over the middle, a first down catch. Jeremiah Smith able to stretch it out after the grab on 3rd and 15 and move the sticks.
Well, they try to bracket him here, but there's no answer for Jeremiah Smith. Poise of the safeties in the middle, but Jeremiah Smith does an outstanding job setting this route down, working back to the football, and another big play for Jeremiah Smith.
23 years ago, these two teams played in one of the great college football games of all time. The national championship game, Ohio State beat Miami as Sayan throws deep over the head of Tate. Miami at that point, back in the 02 season, had a 34-game win streak. Everyone thought they were going to roll, even though Ohio State was undefeated. But the Buckeyes ended up winning it in overtime. This is arguably Miami's biggest game since. Can they hang on to a 3-point lead against an Ohio State team seeking its first ever consecutive national titles? But another Ohio State-Miami Classic shaping up here in the quarterfinal. We got 3 more of these tomorrow on ESPN. Bain off the edge. Grabbed onto the quarterback. The flag is thrown. And the catch is made by Jackson as Sayan dumped it off.
Holding Offense, number 70. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains second down.
The first accepted penalty of this game. And it comes at 7:15 remaining.
Another look here coming from the AT&T Connected Cam. Watch the dip. Watch how low Bain gets to the ground. I don't really see the hold there, to be completely honest with you. I thought as he dipped it, he got low. He just kind of lost his footing. Philip Daniels gets the call. And Mario Cristobal saying, keep it coming. Keep it rolling up front.
Second down and 27-minute mark. Ohio State down 3. On the Buckeye 38. Donaldson leaving the backfield. Empty set for Sayin. Play clock down to 3. Sayin fires and Tate got let up. He couldn't hang on to the ball. Jacoby Thomas with the hard hit. Third down and 20.
With Jacoby Thomas been laying some lumber here tonight. This pass just off target for Julian Sayin. It's a little bit inside. And Carnell Tate, he feels that safety coming down, kind of short arms this as he reaches for it, and he gets punished.
Corey Heatherman has done a masterful job as the defensive coordinator for Miami. And on third down and 20, Sayin being chased by Bain. Able to dump it off, but Donaldson is wrapped up immediately by Lightfoot to force an Ohio State punt with 6.5 to go.
Well, the relentless effort to the quarterback from Ruben Bain. Hakeem Mesidor, speed rush, going to get up the field, and then it's Bain chasing down Julian Sayin. It was a drop 8. Everybody covered down the field, and Corey Heatherman high-fiving everybody as they get a huge stop.
McGuire boots it away. It's a good punt, driving Tony back. He fields it and called for the fair catch. At the 11-yard line, a 54-yard punt. There is a penalty marker down. Back at the 35-yard line of Ohio State.
Illegal formation, kicking team. More than 4 players lined up in the backfield. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains fourth down.
Yeah, Miami going to make them punt it again after that great boot by Ohio State. So we had no penalties for 3.5 quarters, and Ohio State has committed 2 here in the last minute. That one was costly. Perhaps we'll see what happens on the re-kick here by McGuire.
If you're McGuire, be careful. That's 10 Malachi Tony back there to return. And he's had game-changing returns. He had one against A&M. He had one earlier in the season against Stanford.
And a short punt. And Tony makes the fair catch. It ends up being about a 20-yard difference with that penalty by Ohio State. Can Carson Beck close it out and drive Miami down the field? A 3-point lead for the Canes, and we return. The winner of this game will move on to play either Georgia or Ole Miss in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl January 8th. Miami ball leading by 3, just inside 6 minutes to play. First down in the Hurricane 30. They're going to run Fletcher on first down. And Fletcher all the way near midfield. His best run of the second half. It goes for 19.
What's great blocking off the left side. And Malachi Tony with the key block. I want you to pay attention here. Here, and Malachi Tony's going to insert here at the end of this play. Watch the true freshman. We talk about him so much. Catching the football, throwing the football. How about that as a blocker right there, coming inside and getting a key block on Jalen McClain to spring that run.
Former high school quarterback Malachi Tony, who Shannon Dawson told us could start for a lot of FBS schools at quarterback. One of the top receivers in the country and just a true freshman. Another run into Buckeye territory to the 47-yard line. Gain of about 4 for Fletcher as we hit the 5-minute mark.
Well, he's the closer. You hit it on the onset, the opening possession, Dave. He's the leader of this football team. A pillar of the program. is what Mario Cristobal called Mark Fletcher. A couple of nice runs to start this drive here late in the ball game.
Each team with 3 timeouts remaining will also have the official 2-minute stoppage. Miami, last time it was in the Fiesta Bowl was in 2003. Trying to get there and hang on and upset the Buckeyes. Pressure coming. Beck steps up, sees it, runs. And Beck wrapped up and thrown down by Arvell Reese at the 44, bringing up 3rd down and 3.
We've seen Carson Beck be far more active than typical. This is a nice job just picking something up. Didn't like what he saw down the field. A foot race with Arvell Reese and setting up 3rd and very manageable for his offense.
Empty set for Carson Beck, the former Georgia Bulldog. A ton of big game experience. Can he come up big on 3rd and 3? He does! Out of the backfield, Shamar Brown. I don't even know that Brown has even played tonight. He gets the catch there, and it's a 1st down.
Arvell Reese is going to be matched up man-to-man with Shamar Brown out of the backfield, and he gets caught in the trash. So that's a natural pick for Brown to get out into the flat. Reese can't get over the top. And a great find for Carson Beck.
Miami taking time off the clock, nearing 3 minutes to play inside the Ohio State 40-yard line. Brown will stay in at running back. He did not play against Texas A&M in the 1st round win on the road for the Hurricanes. He'll get the carry here. Inside the 35, dragging defenders, a 1st down. All the way to the 26. 13 more yards on the ground.
I mean, it's just physical football right here. Right side. And Francis Maui-Noah, the All-American. Watch him start here and then get up to the 2nd level. Down block, down block. The right side of this offensive line really doing work here. The double by Maui-Noah gets up to that 2nd level, that key block on Sonny Styles as Shamar Brown hits it downhill.
Ohio State may have to start using some timeouts. We're down to inside 2.5 minutes remaining. And Miami leading by 3. And a new set of downs at the 26. Brown up the middle, able to get a yard, and that's it. Ryan Day will hold on to the timeouts on the other side of the official 2-minute stoppage, which we get right here. The Buckeyes, the reigning champs, but they're on the ropes. Miami's got the ball in a 3-point lead with a spot in the semifinals on the line. Will Scott, statistically the best defense in the country in the last 14 years. Ohio State on the ropes right now, needing a stop. 2 minutes to go, down 3. A 2nd and 9 for Miami on the 25 of the Buckeyes. It'll be Brown again. And he keeps moving. All the way down to the 20 for a gain of 5, and Ryan Day will use his 1st timeout. But at 3rd down and about 4, if Miami's able to get a 1st down, really increases their chances of being able to close this game out right here.
This is the biggest play of the game coming up on 3rd and 4. But how about this drive for Miami? Getting the football with right around 6 minutes to go, and they started off with the run game, their DNA. And it's Fletcher off the left side. Malachi Tony with the key block. A big 3rd and 3 conversion. Man-to-man, Arvell Reese can't get over the top. And Carson Beck finds his running back, and Shamar Brown with good blocking off the right side. The All-American, Francis Maui-Noah, getting on the other All-American, Sonny Styles. And I want you to watch the effort, Dave, at the end of this play. Watch 61, watch his legs. They never stop moving as Miami has been fighting, scratching, clawing for every yard they've gained tonight.
45 rushing yards on this drive, while Ohio State gives up about 84 on the season. It was 14-0 Miami. Ohio State was down 17-7, cut it to 3, but a drive that's lasted more than 4 minutes continues. 3rd down and 4. And Beck's going to throw to Daniels. And Daniels has the first down. It's 1st and goal for the Hurricanes with 1:46 left. Ryan Day will use his 2nd timeout. He has only 1 left. And the Canes are on the doorstep of what would be their biggest win in 23 years.
Well, what a play call in the biggest moment. Wide receiver screen. Tony again with the key block. Maui Noah, the athleticism to get outside on Caden Curry. And C.J. Daniels comes up with a massive 1st down. And the Canes starting to feel it.
Mario Cristobal told us yesterday, Dusty, you mentioned it at the top, I don't want to hear any more about the U is back. I'm about the U is here and what's next. But as you watch Ray Lewis and Michael Irvin celebrating, you know there are former Canes and Miami fans who love the U that feel like they're back if they can finish.
What a performance here tonight. Taking on the most talented team in the country. 1st round picks everywhere. And we knew yesterday, talking to Mario Cristobal, his team was going to come to fight. He said they're confident, they're loose, and they're going to be ready to play. And they're in prime position to ice this game away.
Ohio State down to 1 timeout. 1st and goal on the 7. Miami will keep it on the ground. Brown to the 5. And tackled there. They will save the last timeout. The next snap will come with about 57 seconds remaining. 2nd and goal at the 5. Miami bringing in an extra couple of offensive linemen like they did. And goal to go in the 1st half. They snap it with 1 on the play clock. Brown into the end zone. Touchdown, Miami!
Well, Ohio State, they're going to let them score here in this spot. I think they looked at the clock, looked at the time, and that's the best possible scenario that they can try to pull off some kind of miraculous comeback.
You would need a scoring drive of some kind, 3 or 7. Then you'd have to recover the onside kick, score again, all with just 1 timeout and 55 seconds left. It's a 10-point Miami lead.
Shamar Brown's going to start this run off the left side. It's a great jump cut. Keep an eye on 26, Peyton Pierce. He's got every opportunity to make a play, and he's just going to let Brown into the end zone. Ohio State was down to just 1 timeout left. If Brown would have opted not to score, he goes down at the 1. You can't run out every second, but they could have bled this clock down to likely inside of 10 seconds.
Now, if you're Miami, you've been kicking it deep all night for a touchback. You kick it in play here. You risk a return, but you also take some time off the clock by doing so. Unless Ohio State just signals for the fair catch. See if Ryan Day just grounds this ball. Or rather, Mario Cristobal grounds this ball to try to take some time off the clock here. 55 seconds away from a huge upset in the first quarterfinal with 3 more to go tomorrow on ESPN. They'll kick it deep, and Peoples will let it go. Aerial coverage is brought to you by Goodyear. Tried, tested, proven legendary.
I just want to say this. Thank God the committee got it right, because there was a real conversation that Miami wasn't even going to be in the playoff. And look what they've done now. Go on the road to College Station and one of the toughest environments to win. That built confidence. And now they come in here against the reigning champions, the favorite by most to win it all. And they put themselves in a fantastic position to advance and move on to the semifinal.
Beat Notre Dame, started 5-0, got to number 2, then lost 2 of 3, but 5 straight wins and about to be 6 if they can finish here. Sayin throws to the sideline for Tate, and Tate unable to come up with it. Pressure from Bain. It's an incomplete pass. And teams that get a bye in the first round are 49 seconds away from being 0-5 in the quarterfinals.
It's fascinating, and we're going to learn more as these playoffs continue. But this playoff, we thought last year it might have been about the seeding. This year, it might have rectified itself, but we're only 1 game in, 3 more to go. But as you mentioned, we're headed down a path that's going to see those top seeds go 0-5.
Bain coming, Sayin gets the pass away, it's intercepted! Picked off by Lucas! Jacoby Thomas with the game sealing. Upset clinching, interception for the U. The Buckeyes' reign is over. There will be a new champion in the 2025-26 college football playoff.
Well, it's going to be Ruben Bain. He's going to come off the edge. He's going to force Julian Sayin up. And then it's Marquise Lightfoot who gets the big shot on Julian Sayin. And Jacoby Thomas with the takeaway to ice this game. Dave, the Miami Hurricanes from the jump were physical. They brought the fight to Ohio State, and they've closed this game the same way they started it, with that defensive line being relentless and getting after Julian Sayin.
Their position coach, Jason Taylor, the Miami legend, you saw embracing another former Hurricane, Ray Lewis. Miami will have to snap it 1 more time, but the Hurricanes are moving on to the semifinals. They will await the winner of tomorrow's All-State Sugar Bowl between Ole Miss and Georgia. A check that they will not have to snap it. The game is over. The Verbo Fiesta Bowl has 1 team in it. Miami advances to the semifinal. 3 more quarterfinals tomorrow. Mario Cristobal may not want to hear it, but the U is back. Their biggest win in 23 years. The first double-digit seed to win a game happened in the first round by Miami against Texas A&M. And the 10-seed Canes are still going. We'll take on either Ole Miss or Georgia on January 8th at 7:30. Standing by with Mario Cristobal. Here's Quinn.
Congratulations. Big hug for your wife, your family, your players. What emotions are you dealing with right now?
Well, first, thanks to God, the big guy upstairs, man, always number 1. We talked about it, right? Our guys have really worked hard at being a physical, violent bunch. And you know what? Coach Johnson, there you go, brother. There you go, Green Tree practice field. Let's go. Wait for me, don't leave. Don't leave, don't leave. I just think it's, look at it, man. These guys, you've been down there. You see how we work, how we practice. And they just kind of got tired of hearing how everybody, we're focused on us.
The physicality was on display that last drive.
Well, you know,
what was that last drive like?
And credit to them, too, because they got physical in the second half. They started getting some chunk yardage, but eventually, up front, The trenches and the dog mentality and the physicality of the skill guys were the ultimate separator.
How would you characterize the play of your quarterback, Carson Beck?
You know, whoever doubts him, that's fine. He's going to continue to prove himself as a great teammate, a great competitor, and a true Miami Hurricane.
Miami is here. Congratulations, Coach.
Miami is getting better. Say that.
Taylor.
Thank you. I'm here with Carson Beck. You came to Miami because you believe this team could be right here, headed to the college football semifinal, and hopefully more with that. What are you most proud of in this moment?
Man, just the way that this team has responded to adversity. We knew coming into today that it wasn't going to be easy. I mean, it's a damn good football team on the other side right there. And, I mean, it was a battle. It took all 4 quarters until the very last minute. And I'm just so proud of how we fought adversity and just continued to fight throughout the game.
That final play, the 3rd and 4, that really sealed the deal. What was going through your mind before that snap?
Shoot, I was blacked out. Man, I was blacked out. I was out there just... Shoot, I don't know. I was just blacked out, just playing the game I love.
Your defensive line has been nails all season. What do you see from opposing teams when they have to respect those big guys up front?
Well, shoot, I practice against them every single day in practice, and it's absolute hell going against our defense every single day. And they make us better, we make them better, and iron sharpens iron. So, again, you see them show up every single game, and they're just so physical and honestly just a force to be reckoned with, and you know they showed that today. I'm so proud of the way our whole entire team played.
Carson, all week long we talked about your numbers against ranked opponents and how good you are in these big moments. Why?
Man, I don't know, man. This is all I got. This is all I got. This is what I've lived for my whole entire life. It's what I've worked for is these moments, but I couldn't do it all by myself. You know, again, we're from 5 a.m. until 6 p.m. every single day. We're in the facility. We're grinding. We're practicing. We're watching film. It's every single day in and day out for moments like this. So that, you know, when you get in these big time moments, you fall back on your preparation, and when, you know, the moment calls of you, you rise to it.
Last question for me. You ran a lot tonight. How are your legs?
They feel great. Let's play again.
I love it, Coach. Thank you. Dave?
They will play again. They're moving on to the semifinals to face the winner of Georgia and Ole Miss. As we welcome you to the Ram Trucks post.